don't understand. Junebug, will you have more VTuber on show like Kurtz? Probably not. They don't like me. Matthew Self
Even
says,
Kirsch? I thought Kirsch liked you.
no, I had a show scheduled with Kirsch.
Oh, wait, but you had the one VTuber on who was like, that was a great show.
It was kick ass. Yeah, what's her name? Cottontail VA. She was awesome.
Okay.
She's cool. But she's not with anybody. And I wasn't aware of the culture, and Kirsch, all of them think I was being malicious. The only time I was being malicious was with the phase gay. That was the only time. And that wasn't even on purpose. That was a completely astronomical odds. So
dude, that culture is so weird. What VTubers need to understand is my sisters in Christ, or brothers as it may be. If your contract can be canceled because some dumb redneck from Alabama makes a joke and posts a picture of someone else, says, I'm not here with Pip, and they can cancel your contract, then you need a better negotiating party, by the way, because that is well beyond your control. And I don't know if that's actually real, but that's what people said. And they're like freaking out. They're like, you can get Pippa removed from, I don't know, or whatever. Or from Face Connect. It's like, then Face Connect is doing predatory contracts. And by the way, I actually think that VTuber contracts are very likely predatory. Yeah, and that's no slight to the VTubers. That's all the slight. This is a media industry standard. It's been going on forever. Dude sent me this is a while back. A dude sent me a record contract. He's a DJ EDM producer, right? And he's like, hey man, can you help me? Can you look over this contract? They want to license my song. And I look at it. It is predatory bullshit. He can never use this song again. They can use the song for whatever they want. They can never publish the song or whatever. And they're going to give him like $500. But they say they might put it on an album in the next 6 months. Right. And he's like, this is my shot. I'm like, dude, you realize that once you sign this, you can never use that track again. You can't sample it. You can't do anything. They own everything about that track that you made, that you put together. And he's like, but this is my shot though. And that's the problem. So many people have been trying to access big media for so long. You see it in acting. We saw it in the FaZe Clan, the Twitch streaming lawsuit with that one guy. What was that? Not FaZe Super Gay or whatever. Where they're like, oh, they moved him to the content house or whatever. And then you see the contract and it's like, these guys have no agency, no life or whatever. They get picked up at 19. They get made into the celebrity because they're good at something, but they get the branding and the advertisement and the marketing from some company that's like, well, we need this streamer to be 2 million subscribers. And the company puts that into them, but then they own everything about them. Yep. I bet that it's the same for VTubers. Yep. Like if Pipkin leaves FaZe, she's never Pipkin again, or Pippa again. If any of the HoloLive people leave HoloLive, they're never that again, and they could replace them. In fact, it could have happened multiple times. We would never know.
Yeah.
So
right, they use a voice, whatever modulator to make it.
Right? I've talked to these people, obviously not naming names, but I know for a fact that some VTubers bring in $400,000 a year for their companies and they see $30,000 of it.
Shit.
The reason they're getting literally like a 10% split right now. And the reason is because they sign up, like Nick said, they sign up when they have nothing and all they want to do is be a part of the spectrum. And they sign up, they sign a predatory contract, they get huge. Now, if they break that contract, they have to start from square one with nothing that relates to them at all. Therefore, it's terrifying to get out because $30,000 sounds way better than zero. So that's the entire, it's all predatory. And I know for a fact, some of the largest VTubers out there are making, they're making less than McDonald's employees that work full time right now.
Yeah, so a couple things in the chat. Someone said, record labels are Dan Bass, record labels are obsolete. Yes, 100%. Yes. But my point is not the record label. My point is the culture that the music industry started, where they would grab these young artists and this
Creedence Clearwater Revival is the greatest example of that. Those guys own none of their songs, that catalog, that Creedence catalog, I mean, that is like the soundtrack of like
legendary,
70s. Like they don't get in fact, they have to pay the company when they play them in concert. They have to pay.
I think it was like Bruce Springsteen or something played his own song live and got sued. And it's what made artists like Prince so admirable. Prince, if you've ever been to Paisley Park, first of all, it's weird, but it's also cool. Prince was amazing. I don't even really care for Prince's music, but as a musician, the dude is fucking legendary.
Yeah.
But he had these recording studios, and he would let anybody come and record there, and they own their stuff. He didn't claim any of it. And then we saw the same thing happen with Taylor Swift, where she just happened to be rich enough to fight against the ownership of her catalog. And she said, fine, you can have my catalog. I'm going to re-record it, though. I'm going to re-record it and f you, and I'm going to outsell you because people like me. And they're right, because she has a she's got long legs. So they do. But the music industry is it was just an easy model to follow, and they've all followed it. So while these other industries are kicking in line, newscasting, music, as independent creation becomes more and more, we do see the predatory stuff in esports. We see the predatory stuff in VTubing, and it's the same shit. And someone said Guargura is making millions. HoloLive, the best HoloLive contracts, to my understanding, I think Guargura's HoloLive was, but I could be wrong on that. But the best HoloLive content creators get a 50-50 split after the revenue share with YouTube and everything else. So they get a 50-50 on the net. So if they make $1 million in super chats, they make 700K tops in super chats, actually more like 600K after the Apple split. So about 600K, and then they get 300K of that of the super chats. And you say, well, yeah, 300K is a shitload of money. Well, sure it is. But they generated $1 million. Like their personality, their acting, all that generated the $1 million. They get views and eyeballs from the marketing, but the disproportionate, they did not pay 300K in marketing costs to that company. The company took 300K out of it, but it was disproportionate and it's predatory. And I hate it, because it's like, if these people could afford good contract negotiating lawyers when they were picked up, this would never happen. And one of the most recent examples that's not gay like VTubing and not weird like music or esports, the Daily Wire. And that was the whole thing between the Daily Wire and Crowder. The Daily Wire will grab 100K to 200K subscriber conservatives talkers, and they will offer them a contract, and they will offer them a pittance, and they will own everything that they make for the next couple of years. They will market them up to 1 million, 2 million subscribers or whatever. They'll dump money into it, and then they will take everything from them while they are paying out what seemed like a good deal when they were a 100K channel. But now they're millions of people are watching them, and they're like, oh shit, I was valuable.
But you also got to say, like, hey, I would have never been a million channel without them. You know what I mean? There's also that. There is the value that they're adding, because there was a case of, you know what Kate Spade is?
Yeah.
All right. She sold her, she made designer bags and shoes and like that. And she sold her company for $12 million, which is great for a small boutique designer.
That's like the three verses from Kate Spade, though.
Right. All right. The company that bought them made it $1 billion company. It was a global company, and it made it $1 billion. She ended up herself because she was so regretful of the decision. But here's the thing: she's thinking that she had the wherewithal or anything to make it $1 billion. She never would have made it. It only could have been $1 billion company in the hands of a global network. So she was living with this buyer's remorse, if you will, seller's remorse, really. But so she ends up offing herself over this, but she got 12 million bucks. It's like she's fucking,
Right. And I'll say, like, yes, obviously, with the ability to market, have a massive network like Daily Wire or HoloLive or FaZe Clan, whatever it is, you're going to be building up these channels. But the thing that's predatory about it, though, is that while you're correct, they never would have made it, Cecil. The talent is still selling. The talent is what's selling, and it's the same thing we all know. The moment you get on YouTube, it's not about who you are, what you do. Like, there are tons of talented people on YouTube. It's whether the algorithm will get you in front of people. And we're all looking for that one thing, two things, whatever, every so often that will put us in front of a new audience, and they'll go, oh, I like this person. So they artificially are able to manufacture that with experience, with good salespeople, with all of that stuff. But at the same time, they may not have ever been, like Kate Spade may not have ever been $1 billion company, but Kate Spade might have made well over $12 million.
Oh, she might have been a $50 or $100 million.
Yeah, exactly.
She sold herself short. She had regret. By the way, someone in the chat said it's David Spade's sister. Not true but she was married to David Spade's brother. That's where she got that.
Interesting. So, what would you rather have, Cecil? Would you rather have a 1 million sub channel that brought in 80 grand a year, or a 300,000 sub channel that brought in 400 grand a year on YouTube?
Obviously, I take the 400 grand myself.
Same.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. Is, I mean, you look at
But
people
some
like,
people wouldn't actually. Though.
yes. You look at people like, you know, Nick and me. You can go to the Playboard, like results on their website, and every single person around me and Nick have like 10 million subs, and then it's me and Nick. That's how that works. You'll see Legal Mindset on there, and like, you're like, what the? These are like channels that are very, very small, but the reason that they're doing all this themselves is because they're working by themselves up to this point. You know, maybe a company could shoot me to the stratosphere, but it's not going to make me any more or any less. And especially if I'm having to give them 50 or 70%. No, that for exposure, I can't pay my mortgage with exposure, Cecil. Okay.